everybody. We are at the LA Jiu Jitsu Club with our homies. Everybody introduce yourself, and then we'll talk about what we're doing here.
What's up? I'm Drew. You guys know me. I am an active member of Mat Therapy Podcast, as well as here at the LA Jiu Jitsu Club.
Joey Hauss, purple belt under Jean-Jacques Machado, co-founder of the LA Jiu Jitsu Club.
Legit.
Under other things as well. And on to either Becky or Blair.
I'm Blair Green, guy with the thumb, and director of USA Grappling.
Yeah. Awesome. So, you guys know who we are. It's Donna and Becky. It's Mat Therapy Podcast. But we're here for a very specific reason, because you guys have a big announcement to make, right?
We do.
What is it? Give it to us.
So, the three of us, along with a couple other good friends of ours, Rafa Spars of Verbal Tap Podcast, as well as our good friend Octavio Villanueva of OV Films, and Eric Medina, other co-founder of LA Jiu Jitsu Club. We've joined forces, and we have started our own tournament company.
Nice.
It's called the US Submission Grappling League, and it's a sub-only tournament. We plan on doing the majority of our shows both gi and no gi.
As sub-only?
As sub-only.
So what are the rules going to be?
The rules, well, obviously it varies towards skill level, but the gist of it is going to be submission only, with EBI overtime rules, not modified. The only thing we have modified are the regulation rounds. Expert round is going to be 8 minutes, submission only. Intermediate will be 7, beginner 6, novice 5, and the same goes in the gi with belt levels. We'll do black belts 8, black and brown 8, purple 7, blue 6, white belt 5.
And then what happens in the overtime?
The overtime, just like EBI, we either start on the back or from the armbar. You get to pick. We do 3 overtime rounds. Those are determined on a coin flip.
And then it's either by escape or by submission?
By escape or by submission. Obviously, just like EBI, we encourage a submission. Yeah. At the end of 3 rounds, we do need to distinguish a clear winner. So the guy who is able to escape every attack the fastest will be the winner, if that's the situation.
Okay,
just like
I have a question. Yes. Why are the gi belt? Why is it in the gi by belt division and in no gi by experience division? Is there what was your reasoning for that?
Well, it seems to be the norm within just about most grappling tournaments that they do that. It also kind of allows for it because we are connected with USA Wrestling, UWW, so there will be wrestlers that are going to be part of these tournaments as well. So, you go into a tournament and you are, brand new to jiu-jitsu, but you're a college level wrestler.
Right, not fair to jump in with the white belt.
Absolutely. Yeah. But, the gi kind of does negate a lot of these things.
Wait, it does? Why? Wait, the gi negates takedowns?
No, not takedowns. It doesn't, well, because those don't matter in sub-only, right? We are not worried about that.
Right, so then why would you care?
I don't think that's necessarily true. Now, it doesn't matter points-wise, but taking somebody down and keeping dominant position matters in a fight, whether it's sub-only, points, whatever it is. So I wouldn't say that takedowns don't matter, right?
Okay, absolutely.
Obviously, whatever your grappling skill set is, showcase that.
Yeah.
Right? But it's different with the gi community. You're at, this level, whereas... if this 10-year D1 wrestler wants to come and do this, he's not going to sign up for white belt,
Okay.
So we get more, I'd say, we get more people crossing over from other grappling arts to do no gi than we do gi. So it's just easier to distinguish.
Well, that leads me to a question that I think you would be in a great position to answer. Do you see no gi jiu-jitsu moving towards more a generalized grappling? Like umbrella, so that when you're holding a no-gi tournament, it's more of just a general grappling tournament. We have catch wrestlers, we have jiu-jitsu guys, we have wrestlers. Is that the direction?
That's our hope.
Yeah, and I think
I guess that's why the name, right?
Yeah, well, there's that, and it's also someone like me, Eric, Blair. A lot of us found Brazilian jiu-jitsu because of after high school, college wrestling. There really isn't too much out there for guys like us that need this physical outlet within our lives. We found jiu-jitsu, we get to, continue this wrestling thing that we learned, but the rules are a little different, and now we actually get to tap people out. That's really cool.
Right.
So I actually don't feel it's just no-gi. I just feel that grappling in general, I do think is going to eventually kind of be one umbrella thing, just because of you're getting more wrestlers that are
Yeah.
learning about jiu-jitsu. Like the NCAA national championships just happened recently, and a lot of those guys were talking about cross training in Brazilian jiu-jitsu or some kind of other grappling martial art.
And I saw something. I think you mentioned it this weekend, and we're going to talk about that. The U.S. wrestling team trials, grappling team trials, but I guess high schools are now pushing to change the singlet into a short and rash guard uniform to make it more attractive to, I guess, our community. Is that the mindset that everybody's going into?
I'll throw a couple of things in there. So the uniforms we can touch on. Singlets are stupid and come from wrestling. They just
I dug the singlets.
I didn't say it. If you want to say it as a wrestler.
Any of the jiu-jitsu people don't know what a singlet is. It's like a very
onesie.
tight, it's a onesie overall.
Can I tell you a funny story? The first fighter that I ever cornered, it was me and Amir Ranavardi, and we were at some minor, amateur fight, and we are cornering this guy. And I remember we walked in there and they put him in the ring, and I just looked at our guy. His name was Dustin. And I go, Dustin, that motherfucker's wearing a lime green singlet. Do not lose to him.
I remember being at one of the very first Dream tournaments, and the guy that was like the showstopper for the whole day was wearing an American flag singlet.
Oh,
and he was
yeah.
like killing it.
Yeah, you better be good.
I was gonna say, if you're gonna wear that, you better.
If you're going to wear it, you got to be good.
Yeah.
So
The lime green guy lost.
touching on that, some of the conversations that we had and really bringing in the gi into it. So one, believe that the no gi sub only thing is really levels the playing field.
Okay.
So any of the grappling artists can get on the mat, whether you have experience or not, and show your art. So that's a big part of the sub only movement, and it's one of the really exciting things that brought me into it. And the boys said, "Hey, what do you think about this?" Another thing that we had in the conversation with inviting the gi is the jiu-jitsu community is predominantly gi of the competitors. So you're talking 4-to-1 in tournaments of gi to no gi.
Okay.
So we wanted to create an atmosphere where they're welcome to come onto the mat and try it. Try something new. Expand your horizons, right? And the net of it, what I keep preaching is, I don't care what you do, just be on the mat.
For sure.
This is where our people are, and this is where you find the
Absolutely.
fun. So that's one of the reasons why we brought that in.
Absolutely, and again, just to include the gi people, we also want to include the sambo people, the judo people. All
Do
the
we have a
grappling,
big
the wrestlers,
representation
the
of them in
submission
Southern
wrestlers.
California?
So judo is really strong here in Los Angeles. Santa Monica, Rhonda was actually part of the Santa Monica Judo
Right.
Club. I have a bunch of friends that have been a part of that and kids that are in it now. Sambo is really predominantly a Russian thing, former Soviet Union, so the Dagestans, all of the stands, Azerbaijan, all of these. That's really where that's still going very, very strong. I was just on a call with our associated styles of UWW, so it's our international body, which is like pancration and all of this. And there is little small pockets that are doing this. So again, it's reaching out to them and having them say, "Hey, did you know that we're over here and we want you?" We're all first cousins. So
Heck yeah. So let's talk about UWW, because we were at the U.S. grappling team trials, and that was the first time that's ever happened, right? So tell everybody what the UWW is and the direction that this new little pocket that you're trying to bring in and the direction you're trying to take that.
Yeah, so not brand new. It started in 2007. This grappling style, which is a points-based style, that favors aggression and it favors a wrestler over a jiu-jitsu player.
Right.
So it's different. It's very different from our sub-only movement, which is saying, let's level the playing field, right? But what we had is we have an international governing body which governs our Olympic combat sports for wrestling, all forms of wrestling, Greco, Sambo, all of this kind of stuff. Pancration is under there, belt wrestling, Pavlani from Iran. Grappling is one of the sports. So that's, well over 100 countries that participate. They regulate rules, all of this kind of stuff. Different from what our conversation is let's take the rules and make them less important and let the art show itself on the mat.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, but But yeah, it's a beautiful thing, and like I said, what we're always trying to do is get more people on the mat and competing. So whether that be in a grappling style tournament, a wrestling tournament, a judo tournament, we want people to get on the mat, and then we also want to invite them to try out this exciting new style.
Yeah.
The sub only. We know from what Eddie Bravo is doing, it's super fun to watch. He's a guy that something about the world being something.
World famous
flat
conspiracy
world.
theorist.
Something flat Earth thing.
So really fantastic tournament and event that he puts on, right? With EBI, you're training for that, right?
I'm training for the qualifiers.
There you
I'm nowhere
go.
near EBI yet.
Go and win it, and
Well,
then
you're
be on the
seems
show.
like you're one step away.
That's part of UFC Fight Pass. We've got some EBI veterans sitting here right now.
That's right.
Right?
Joey was in it. I did the qualifiers this past. I did the 170 qualifiers.
You did at
months
HQ.
back.
Yeah. So for any of our wrestling people that don't know what that is, you definitely want to check it out. It's on UFC Fight Pass. It's super fun. It's super fun to watch. And again, it's just a continuation of what we all do. So we all love being on the mat and putting control on somebody, and this is just another form of it.
Absolutely. Another conversation that I've been having a lot lately, because we're doing this sub-only thing, and one of our things is we want to get everybody's opinion. We love the feedback. And another conversation that comes up of like why sub-only. Originally, when we started doing this jiu-jitsu thing, it was all self-defense based. You know what I mean? I don't train to score a couple points on you and back up and run away and whatever, and then time's over. I was able to hold you there. We train to kill, right? If I'm getting into it with Joe and Larry on the street, I'm gonna break Joe's leg and get up so I can fight Larry. I'm not gonna sit there and hold Joe and wait for Larry to come kick me in the freaking face. You know what I mean, right? This is realistic, right?
Right.
And that's we want to bring it back to its roots as well.
And it's also
I'm sorry, me on the other hand, I choose to use my words. And then I take them down.
But also as far as the sport goes, there's a finality to it. You've made the person tap out.
Right.
There's
no question.
There's no question.
Unless you're a baby and you cry about the submission that you just tapped out to and then get the ref to restart your match.
Hey.
Whoa! That may have happened this last weekend.
It's more fun for the spectator who's watching people who are trying to achieve that same common goal, as opposed to I've gotten ahead on points, now I'm going to hang out for the next 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It's the same as MMA. I mean, how many people complain when every single fight you watch goes to judge's decision?
Yeah.
Everybody's just like,
everybody's like, wah, wah.
People want to see the knockout. People want to see the submission.
But in MMA, it becomes a lot harder to try to win that point thing, unless you're a super high caliber wrestler, which that comes in there. But it happens less often than when you see these grappling tournaments, and it can become boring when you have entire tournaments where people win just by getting those initial points and holding on to it for the rest of the time.
For our wrestling people that are watching, so you're getting what I'm talking about, it would be the equivalent of the pin. So we're working for the fall all the time. We're working to finish the match. So that's what the submission is about. So there's a lot of positions in a points-based deal where you don't want to take the chance. You would rather ride it out. Well, this rule set allows you to go ahead and be free to try things. Which makes it very exciting.
Which I found really interesting.
That's a great point.
That was the first wrestling tournament I've ever been to this weekend.
Well, this is a good one to be
at. It was a good one to be at. It wasn't bad. I personally found that the freestyle was more exciting to watch, but I really wanted them to have a finish. I was like, if now they got him on the ground, if they could just do a submission, that would be even more awesome.
So I'm going to help you with that because I know about wrestling. So
please.
Grappling is super fun to watch. Greco is super fun to watch. Freestyle is super fun to watch. It's just a different pace. So it's cool that you say that. So it's about understanding what's happening, right?
Yeah.
So freestyle wrestling is a very fast-moving thing. There's not a lot of control with it, and they're dynamic athletes, really explosive. Greco-Roman, when the moves happen, they're really dynamic to watch because it's a giant throw, and when you do see it, it's like the crowd goes, "Oh shit!" Right?
Are those
really
the big suplexes and things that you've all seen?
Flying over people's heads.
And you get incentive for doing those moves because they're worth more points.
So, in the same conversation, the cool part about the sub only thing is you don't have to understand what you're seeing. You'll figure it out, right? It's just kind of like, it's kind of like in boxing. You don't have to technically understand what's happening to get engaged into the sport.
When the guy's knocked out on the floor, all messed up,
Yeah.
you're like, that was cool. I don't know. I don't understand
The perfect example of that is the shot clock. Like, unless you know what's going on, I know there were a couple matches that we were all like, where did the points come from? What just happened?
Mm-hmm.
Who did what?
Yeah.
And you had to explain, well, there's a shot clock. This person has 1 minute to implement a shot, and if they don't, the other person gets the point.
Yeah.
That's why. Talk to us about that. What is it?
So in the current rules of wrestling, freestyle, again, to engage more, you have to be active, right? If a person is being passive, they get warned. If they get warned again, they go on the shot clock. They have 30 seconds to score in that.
What would constitute? What makes them passive? Because
it's
a
a
couple
referee's
times
fault.
I was like, why do they have a shot clock now? Because I didn't see them being passive.
Yeah.
So what does that mean?
It's a referee's call.
Okay, how would you translate that as somebody who's done both? How would you translate that to grappling?
As far as what, like the referees? Oh, like what's in grappling that's like that?
Like what is like stalling, like sitting on top and
Well,
mouse?
that's what that is. That is it's a stall.
It's like a stall.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you're both in neutral and nobody has an advantage, it's difficult to do a stall call. You would call it being passive.
Okay.
Right? So stalling is like if you flee the mat, that's actually a penalty point, right? No, I don't want to engage. But if you're just kind of touch butt, you know what I mean?
Touch butt in the park.
A rule that Rich Tata was telling me about was the 3 consecutive steps backwards you get penalized for. I love that rule.
3 steps backwards you get penalized for that?
You cannot take 3
You gotta circle.
consecutive
You gotta
steps
circle.
backwards.
I like it.
I love that.
I think I might implement that with my kids.
It pushes
I
the
like
action,
that.
right? It pushes the action. Now, also about pushing the action, I competed in Worlds this last year. That was an interesting experience. Training for Worlds was an interesting experience. IBJJF, one of the biggest tournaments in the world, has this points rule
Jiu
set.
Jitsu.
And my biggest, what's the word I'm looking for?
Pet peeve? Or?
No, like I mean that's one of
frustrated
my
Somebody's
biggest
gonna get
one of
it.
my biggest frustrations. It honestly it made me kind of sad, right? Because I love to train jiu-jitsu. One of my favorite things in jiu-jitsu is just learning new techniques and applying them,
Right.
and flowing and being able to see all these different things from all these different places. And when you compete under this points rule set, it makes you so one-dimensional. You know what I mean? I'm looking to take you down, stay on top, hold you.
Right.
You know what I mean? If a submission comes up, great. In the gi, we're looking to both full guard, maybe get 50-50. Oh, there's 10 seconds left. Boom, I'm going to sit up and get an advantage, and I'm a world champion. You know what I mean? It's not. So one of my biggest things was the fact that I feel like that rule set restricts jiu-jitsu players, all grapplers, from showing their true potential. We train so hard to do all these beautiful jiu-jitsu movements, and it's all negated when I compete. It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah,
So that's another reason that I love the sub-only thing, because again, like we were saying earlier, it doesn't discredit you, or it doesn't penalize you for trying things, for opening up, and trying to make your jiu-jitsu beautiful and effective.
Here's a thought. I'm just gonna throw it out there. But like with the points tournaments, people score a couple points, they pass someone's guard, they get on top, and then they hold them down till the clock runs out, essentially stalling.
Mm-hmm.
What if there was a rule like that incorporated into it, where after if the ref decides, okay, you've been laying on top of them for too long.
In a sub-only scenario?
In a points tournament.
So
then do some sort of shot clock type of.
Well, Becky, we
But what
have
would the
that.
shot be?
It's interesting.
I don't know.
We
So I'm
actually
just kind of-
have that.
This is. I'm just talking as I think through this process.
Just
So
talking out loud.
that's why. Yeah.
As a devil's advocate
I'm thinking
for
out loud, not talking out loud. I always talk out
as a
loud.
devil's advocate for like the points base, because I think both of them have their place, because there is an aspect of jiu-jitsu that you do have to recognize, and that is somebody controlling you, somebody having you in super tough side control.
Good
and now
job standing up
that,
for the gi people. Good
well,
job.
thank you. I guess someone needs to do it. And so like what's different about the whole wrestling and needing the shot class, because you're in this neutral position, and if you are avoiding any any action, something needs to happen.
Right.
Where if I take you down and I now have you in mount or side control and I'm
Right.
holding on to it, there are real life applications of that.
Sure.
And like I'm holding on to you and I'm holding on to the situation, and as a person on the bottom, you should know how to get out. You should be better at doing that. Now, for a spectator, this is incredibly boring.
Right.
Like, there's no way around it. It's just boring to watch.
Yeah.
That's why I love the sub-only movement a little more. I definitely think there is a place for points, but, competing at the first EBI, my mom was there to watch me do it, and I got knocked out in the first round, and my mom was like but the thing, my mom throughout the entire thing was on the edge of her seat.
Yeah, for sure.
Because of how, she knows nothing about jiu-jitsu. She still refers to it as karate, or when she calls it jiu-jitsu, she messes it up. But she watched it and was on the edge of her seat the entire time, because if it's easy for someone like that to watch and see that
That's true.
Gary Tonin and Boogie were destroying everyone in the finals, as were Gio and Jeff Glover. And so she
And
could
you
watch
don't
that
have to have
and
the-
be like, these guys are clearly,
previous
clearly
knowledge.
the
Yeah.
biggest badasses in their weight class, because they just
Yeah.
murked every single person.
Yeah.
And so it's very easy to watch and to keep up with that.
By the way, today somebody asked me if I still do Thai Jitsu, and I just said yes.
Oh,
I was like,
wow.
That's a new martial arts that
Jiu-Jitsu.
we're gonna trademark that. We're gonna
I
figure
do
it out.
Thai, yeah, I do.
I would just like to throw in there again, as wrestler first, always at the core. I don't care what you do, right? If your game is strong, bring it on the mat. The truth will always come out.
Yeah, the proof
Right?
is in the
Absolutely,
pudding,
yeah.
for sure.
The truth will come out. So a wrestler, you better figure out how to not to have your head down and your butt up. You're gonna get choked.
You're gonna
You
get
shoot a high crotch, you're gonna have problems against
Josh
Head
Hinger-
down, butt up
Josh
is gonna
Hinger
get
showed
you
us a lot
choked.
of that
Yeah.
at the World Team Trials, man. He had
So-
a great showing, and he was one-handed guillotining a lot of wrestlers because that's how they come in.
Conversely, the Russian Bear, he throws some serious wrestling into the mix
Yeah,
in the
hell
sub
yeah.
only. You know what I mean? Of like, I'm gonna take you down, and you're just gonna have to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, it's like, if you can do it, do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you can do it, do it. Come in with that crazy roll, catch somebody off guard. If they don't know what's there, you'll have to figure it out.
But-
and that's special.
Do you think there should be some kind of penalty for sitting in side control or sitting in mount and just collecting minutes and points?
Here's the deal.
Seems nice.
Anything where there is a judge that's going to be involved, when you get to an elite level on both sides, there's going to be gamesmanship,
Right.
Sure.
right? So learning those rules
Mm-hmm.
and then figuring out how to do that.
Sure.
Again, if we're
But
creating,
isn't that dishonorable? We're martial artists.
I don't think so. I don't think so at all. I think that
I think it's human nature. They're gonna
Guy
figure
on
out the
bottom,
way
guy
around
on bottom
this.
should have an escape for getting out of side control. Like that's part of the game is understanding
Right.
that as well. Because even if you
Self-defense, defending yourself.
if you have great submissions in a you want to bring it to the street. If a dude is able to hold on to you in that side control position, that's going to be a guy who's smashing you with his fist. Like, there's other elements that you have to acknowledge and respect. In
So
that
if somebody's
aspect.
able to hold you in side control, I'm just, for the sake of the conversation,
Absolutely, yeah.
it's the person on bottom's fault. Like, the person on top has no responsibility to push the fight.
To
It's
move
only the
forward, to
person on
change
the bottom fight.
positions,
Is
to
that
attempt.
the position that you're taking in a tournament setting?
For a points based thing, I would say yes. You got there. If you got there now, it's for
herein-
that.
Herein lies the problem.
I would make the argument
Right.
that you're not confident enough in your skills and technique
Oh.
to finish the
I-
position.
I-
you're
I-
I prefer some only. Listen,
Now-
I'm just
now-
playing
now
devil's
listen.
advocate for these other people.
Even Eddie Bravo. Wait a second. Even Eddie Bravo says this all the time. In a points tournament, of course he's going to tell his
Yeah.
guys to stall. He wants to win.
Yeah.
We want to win. Absolutely.
Progress,
Is it honorable? Not in our book, maybe. Right?
Yeah.
Which is why we're trying to push this new rule set.
But the guy who did that is wearing the medal that says,
Yeah,
IBJJ
no, I totally get it. But
World
what I'm
Championship.
saying is, there's got to be a small part of you. Then I get it. You want the win, yeah. But if you were really the badass that you think you are, and I'm talking to myself too.
Sure.
But then finish what you're doing.
Agreed.
You got into mount.
110%.
Finish it. You got
Agreed.
into side control. Finish that shit. Like
Or
we're
at least
here.
work towards something
Yeah.
else.
Instead of
Don't
just
Right?
holding
So
on.
trying to
Just
go-
hang out.
Let me
Yeah.
ask you this.
Again,
Okay.
it's a
Let
problem.
me ask you this. So, on the other side of the devil's advocate,
Okay.
is it better to go out on your shield and lose, or to be conservative and win?
I don't know what's
Depends
what's
on the
your
situation.
yeah.
Is
What's
there,
at
is
stake?
there, hey, Blair,
What's
is, there
at
any
stake?
money, is there any money in it for me? Because, you know, if there's money in it for me, then it's.
That's what I mean.
Well,
It
it's
depends
better-
on the, it
it's-
depends
It's
on
a
the
different
situation.
thing, right?
Yeah.
And again,
very
it's
different
subjective,
thing.
right? I think everybody's gonna fight differently.
Yeah.
You know, I promise you that when I do Worlds this year, I'm gonna fight differently. I'm not gonna play the points game like I tried to do last year. I'm gonna try to finish everybody, and I'm gonna go out like a fucking gangster. And if I lose, then I fucking lose. I don't care about that fucking World Tournament. I want to submit everybody. That's me. That's how I fight. Not everybody's like that. A lot of people want to win.
Yeah, I think
You know?
that's a
And
personal
again-
thing. What's
and
at
again,
stake?
just
I don't know.
like for everybody out there, like it's a problem. This is the this is the conversation. Our sub-only rule set is a solution to the problem.
Absolutely.
I would tell you this, that as a coach, we have a kid who fights MMA right now. He's top 10 in the state, right? And I told him, I would prefer that we work out your techniques and stuff in the room.
Sure.
Don't try something. Let's go
Absolutely.
home, not the fight of the night. Let's take another win and stay undefeated, and we're going to get you better every time.
That's completely fair, and it also depends what's on the line.
Sure.
Is it
exactly?
is there money on the line? Is there something that will affect your career? I'm not saying those are not valid things to take into
They
account at
absolutely
any
are.
point. But in this circle of friends who are all grapplers sitting around and talking, I'm saying that if we got 3 minutes left in the round and you're just fucking skydiving on me,
So what about this?
fuck you.
So what? so what about this? What about the guy that gets on top of you and cooks you the whole time, takes all the fight out of you, and then subs you in the last
Absolutely.
10 seconds?
Then you
Right?
got dominated, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
is he wrong or is she
No.
wrong for cooking you
No,
in a
that's
heavy
jiu-jitsu.
side control?
No, that's
Yeah.
jiu-jitsu. That's what jiu-jitsu's about.
Right? It's
The
all
very essence of
different
jiu-jitsu.
games.
But
Right?
It's
what
minimal effort from
is
me.
cooking just sitting there not
Yeah,
working
what-
towards anything?
what
Are
is
you just
coo- what
are
is
you just
cooking
trying
so-
Are
to
you stalling or are you cooking?
Drew,
That's the question.
we were just going over heavy pressure,
Yeah.
literally just before,
Yeah.
right? The difference of somebody sitting on you where it costs them nothing and your whole time you're struggling just to get your breath.
Sure.
Right?
Absolutely.
That's cooking somebody.
Sure.
I don't know,
Right?
we
That's
had
not-
we
but
had
that's
this
not
conversation
stalling.
but we had this conversation
If you're
on the
looking
way
at
here.
it and you don't know, right? It
Sure.
looks like stalling, right? And you're going like this. I'm heavy as fuck on this person. I got them all wrapped
Okay,
up.
but is this for the world championship? Are you gonna win some money? Is there some kind of medal? Is there something on the line, or is only your pride on the line? Because if you cook me for 3 minutes without advancing your position for purely your ego in practice, then that's you not being confident enough in your technique.
Here's how I'd argue
Or you're
it.
practicing
Yeah.
something.
Careful.
Here's how I argue it, right? We're both going into something and we know the rule set.
Right.
Sure.
So how I'm going to
Both sign on
grapple,
the dotted
how
line.
I'm going to grapple in a point tournament, versus how I'm going to grapple in a submission only tournament are going to be two completely different styles.
For sure.
If I can get my position, I want to win this thing. I want to get that medal.
Or you're
that one's
super
better.
gangster and you can do whatever you want to do to
Right.
anybody anyway, right?
Well, you got to
Which
play.
is-
You got to play within the rule set. Because
Which is not
if I'm
wrong.
ahead of you on points and I see something like, oh, I may be able to get this like position, but like I'm not 100% confident in it. Like and like let's say we are like in the finals of Worlds.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. I'm gonna
That's
be
fair.
I'm
It
gonna be
would be
conservative.
foolish.
That's fair.
I'm gonna be conservative, and I'm gonna take home that
Being
medal.
conservative and stalling are two different things.
They are.
So-
Here's a good
But I
example.
feel like Drew just kind of said "fuck you" to all that for World. He
Yeah.
said "fuck the points."
But
I'm
That's
going
me.
to submission.
I'm not telling anybody else
No,
to
I
do
know.
that.
I know.
I wouldn't even coach my guys to do that. I would tell my guys to play the points game and win the fight.
Yeah,
right?
that's-
But me personally,
But Drew's going to
based
say
upon my
"fuck your
experience,
points."
fuck your points, dude. I'm gonna try and submit everybody, and if I lose like that, I lose like that.
I-
But that's how I'm going out. Now, here's a good. I feel like I have a
gangster.
good fight to like example what we're talking about here. Metamoris, Dean Lister, and Josh Barnett, right?
Okay.
Would you call Josh Barnett finished that late in the round?
Yeah.
And he just sat and put tons of
I
pressure
don't
on
remember
Dean.
what happened
He cooked
early.
him. That is
He
not
cooked him.
stalling. I wouldn't call that stalling.
And
Okay, I only
Was
remember
it an entertaining
to a lot
match
of
prior to
that.
to
that?
a lot of spectators,
Yeah.
though, it looks like stalling.
It can look like
I
that,
don't
but
remember.
that's pressure. Oh, bro, he
No,
just
no,
sat.
I remember the submission. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
remember the minutes leading up to the submission.
It was
Is what
pretty
I-
late
because,
in the round.
because there's a lot of them that
Yeah,
are
there was a lot
not
of-
fun to watch.
I was
That's
gonna
why.
say, was it entertaining at all though, leading up to the submission?
I think it was.
Well, again,
I-
as a person who loves the sport and
Yeah.
you know what you're seeing,
you're seeing,
it's
absolutely.
like, oh wow.
Yeah.
As a person that doesn't know
I
the
love the
Yeah.
sport. I don't always
You're like, he's just laying
necessarily
on
love
top.
He's
it.
laying on top of them
Just
and
the
he's
same way
wearing
as I
weird
know plenty of
underwear.
people that love the sport and hate footlocks. That they think that's all boring. It doesn't mean that they don't love the sport.
Okay.
I don't
So
think they think it's boring.
I have a
think
question.
they're just
I
scared.
know. I think they're crazy too. I get it. I'm just.
I have a
like
question
saying-
for everybody, but you guys can't talk over each other when you answer.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yes,
Well, because we might. In a situation where people are watching, like let's say it's an EBI or a Metamoris or anything where there are spectators, people have paid to be there, maybe it's streaming on Flow Grappling or whatever, do you have any obligation to take into account the
Entertainment.
spectators
Yes.
and the entertainment factor?
Am I getting paid?
Yeah, that's what I'd say.
Am I getting paid? If I'm a professional athlete and I'm getting paid a whole bunch of money, then I'm going to do whatever I can to put on a show. When I did Fight to Win, I went into that with that intention. I'm going to put on a show for these people.
Let me ask you this, Drew. If you win ABC tournament, let's go to EBI, right? Well, that's a rough one because that's their pinnacle right now in sub-only,
That's
right?
the pinnacle.
So if you win a tournament, which is now going to put you in position to make a real jump in what you can earn, do you still go out on your sword, or do you win that tournament and put yourself in position to go into a big show?
I think this is the conversation that UFC fighters have to have. Do you go out and put on a show,
It's so-
or do you secure your
So what you're
your
asking,
contract?
but what you're asking is a very subjective question. I think you're going to get a lot of different
This
answers.
is what
That's-
every
that's
coach
what I
deals
was
with,
gonna-
the managers, right, and the
Yeah.
athletes.
That's why we're trying to figure out, like, there's
Now-
different ways of doing different grappling
Sure,
tournaments. And
sure. Now, also, like, we're trying to carve out marketability here, too. We're trying to get our athletes paid. That's part of what we're trying to do. I don't know if we mentioned that. We're doing a prize, cash prize for our absolute divisions, both in the gi and no gi. And we
Right.
want people to get paid. Now, part of that is also being able to perform. Look at Marvin Castell. 12 million views. Everyone's nipping at his butt. Everybody wants him now. But before that, he did a seminar here. Unfortunately, he didn't draw very well. Then that happened. And now, like, you're lucky if you can get a hold of him for a seminar now, right? Now, Marvin didn't do that by being conservative and trying to get to the next round. Marvin went out there and fucking just
Yeah, but
rolled
he
up
also
on
has a
everybody.
lot of people. Marvin's my teammate.
Sure.
I'm playing devil's advocate for
Sure.
the sake of this conversation. Have you seen the people losing their shit about the fact that he butt scooted at Abu Dhabi trials?
Haters. So-
Like people
so what?
lost their mind that he
12
butt scooted.
million people
No.
watched him.
I agree that
You know
his
what I mean?
Imanari
It's
rolls
like-
are amazing. I watch him drill them every day. I'm not discounting that
Sure.
in any way, shape, or form. What I am saying is, if we're talking about the entertainment value, I don't know the answer. I find what he does very interesting. I
Super.
train in the same
12
style, so
million.
I think it's cool.
12 million
But-
people found what he did entertaining, and that's kind of my point. He didn't go in there and say, "Oh, I'm just gonna fucking stall and win this thing so I can get a win on my plate."
Right.
He's like, "Bro, I'm gonna go out there and make a fucking highlight reel out of you," and that's what he did.
Okay.
And all of his fights up to then have been boom, 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 pushing action, pushing action. He's a prime example of a guy who's not gonna stall or just to win a fight. He's gonna put on a fucking show for you. You know what I mean? And
Is that because of his skill set or just because of his personality?
I think maybe a little bit of both. Maybe his mindset. And again, that's why this is a subjective question, because every athlete is going to react differently.
Again, I would say just from the other side of the fence, coming from a rules-based, points-based thing, the truth comes out on the mat,
Absolutely.
right? The
Unless
truth
you're
will
gaming
come-
the system.
it will still come out.
That's-
If you're
that's
there's
true.
nowhere to hide. As athletes that compete on a one-on-one solo thing, there's nobody that you're going to be able to hide behind, or he did, or she did, or
Right.
whatever. There, people are going to know if you stall.
Okay.
People are going to boo. You know, we
Yeah.
get that. At
People know when
we
you
just
fake
had
tap.
the biggest super fight in wrestling: Kyle Dake versus Jordan Burroughs,
That was
our
amazing,
Olympic
man.
champ.
What
It
an
goes down to the
amazing
last thing,
match.
and it wasn't what people were thinking it was going
I
to be.
thought it was pretty exciting.
I thought it was
Yeah.
crazy.
I didn't even know what was going on, and I was like,
Yeah, well, for the
My jaw
hardcore
was on the
wrestling
floor.
people, they know that there was some gaming going on there,
Oh.
right? And there's a kind of a passing of the torch right now. But
Do you think that we're going to be able to attract the Dags and the Burrows and Helen Maroulis? Like, do you think that we're going to be able to attract them into the grappling part of it, since
Absolutely.
they already have such a huge, like, they would come in and murder people in grappling.
Like, wrestling is grappling, and so you're an
Right, but
Olympic
so add
medalist
like
type person.
teach them some submissions. Like, hey, I already know you got this arsenal that has like 47 guns, but I'm gonna give you 3 more with these submissions.
What's beautiful about jiu-jitsu is that with wrestling, right, it's about taking people down, controlling them, pinning them.
Yeah.
And as a wrestler, that stuff feels good to do. But when you're a wrestler and you come into jiu-jitsu the first day and you try to play your game, and the person you put on your back is now attacking you from their back, and then eventually
what the fuck is going
eventually
on
you're
here?
gonna get
What's
tapped out,
doing?
right? Because of you're eventually gonna come up with somebody who's at a higher, like at a similar level of jiu-jitsu as you are wrestling, you're gonna get tapped out. It creates this thing in your mind of like, oh, wait a minute, this thing I've been doing of like I've been able to control people and put them on their back, but like now I know that you can fight off your back, you can throw things at me while you're in this position I'm trying to get you to.
Yeah.
And if you can just get them in the room and like show them that these things apply, it's addictive.
Well, first, I don't think anybody who already
Yeah.
does that could not experience what we do and not go, holy shit, this is amazing.
That's what got me. I was a wrestler.
Teach somebody a
and I-
kimura or a
Another good
Yeah.
example of what Joey's talking about, the kid that won 77 kilograms of grappling at the World Team Trials, his name's Steven Ramos.
Yeah, Ramos.
Steven Ramos.
Yeah, NC State.
He was like a 10-year plus wrestling veteran, D1 wrestler, 3-stripe jiu-jitsu white belt. Super similar story to Joey. Wrestled his whole life. Wrestling was over. What do? Friend showed me jiu-jitsu. Hooked.
Yeah.
Came to the Grappling World Team Trials, won, and now he's going to Azerbaijan to
Yep.
represent Team USA as a 3-stripe.
So is our homegirl Bree Stick.
What? Shout out Bree!
Representing in the gi and in no gi.
Absolutely. She
Somebody's
had
a badass.
phenomenal showing. I missed her gi match. I was fortunate enough to watch her finals in no gi, and she was just smoking the competition all weekend. We're super stoked. We love her so much.
Yeah.
She's an active member of the house. She's always here hanging out and training with us.
We're gonna help her raise some money.
We're gonna help her
Hell
raise
yeah.
some
Trip.
money. We're gonna put her up. We're gonna get her
Yep.
sponsored, and yeah, all of that.
Awesome.
So a long way to get.
He's like
to.
wrestling.
No, is
Back to wrestling.
yeah, we know that they're going to come over. It's just about continuing the same thing we're doing with the jiu-jitsu and sub only.
Sure.
People need to know about it.
Yeah.
You know, so what you girls are doing is invaluable. You know, spreading the word. It says,
Yeah.
hey, did you know this is here? And for people watching, I just ask again, if you want to see more of this, there's something that you can do right now. Just share this. You know what I mean? So when you share it, your friends that may be in Kansas or whatever, they're going to get to see what we're doing. We're bringing these events out. We're working really hard. So you guys saw what we did in Vegas is a major undertaking.
That was an amazing
It's
show. Yeah.
hundreds of
It's very
thousands
big.
of dollars that are spent. You know what I mean? To bring a quality experience to the athletes.
Now we're bringing something very similar to our second tournament, which is going to be a week after our first one, June 4th in Fresno, and it's going to be in conjunction with UWW on a huge stage like that
Nice.
with the sub-only rule set.
So it's going to be on that kind of stage, and like for the winner of the absolute, you actually get a spot in the finishers sub only absolute, which is
Nice.
so it's a step away, another step
Oh,
away,
that's
kind of from
cool.
EBI because
Yeah,
of
and you
some
get
of the-
$500, and I'm working up to give you guys some other cool prizes from Datsusara, Asgard, and stuff like that. A couple other friends of ours in the community. So we have tons of freebies to give away for you guys. Now I'll touch a little bit on what finishers is. If you guys aren't familiar with finishers,
Basically, they're Zach and JM from 10 Planet Bethlehem. They have a tournament out on the East Coast. They do various weight classes, and so many of their guys that have not even just won, but have just done well in the finishers tournament often end up in EBI. I wish I had a better list
They have
of
great.
people.
They have Grace Guns
Mike
over there. Do you
Davila,
need to
Grace
name anybody
Gunn
else?
from JM, Gordon Ryan.
Absolutely.
There's
So-
so
Yeah.
many more people. I'm gonna miss a million names.
Grace,
because so
who
many
is probably
people.
the future of jiu-jitsu.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
So that's Grace's camp, right? So what we're trying to offer you guys, on top of $500, an opportunity to compete in this rule set and on a huge stage like that, is an opportunity to compete and be one step away potentially from something like EBI.
And the finishers tournament itself is a badass tournament. They always live stream
Dude,
it.
it's awesome.
It's always
It's done by
super.
Show the
yeah,
Art.
it's always
Right?
super
Show the Art
exciting.
finishers.
So many awesome highlight real finishers have come from that tournament. Always super exciting.
Now, I want to, if I can, just touch on what we're doing a week before that. Right? A week before that, it's a little smaller. It's an open tournament. It's gi. It's no gi. Okay? And then both absolute divisions, gi and no gi, pay $500. It's local for where, I think the bulk of the grappling community is, which is Southern California. Again, we're trying to push the rule set, and for those of you that are advocates of sub only, that like to compete like that have homies that like to compete, or students or instructors or whatever, please share it. Go to USSGL.com to check it out, or follow all of our social media stuff at USSGL on Instagram, US Submission Grappling League on Facebook, _USSGL _ on Twitter.
Damn.
Awesome. I have a question about is it UWW?
Yeah.
Do you think that we're ever going to see submission grappling in the Olympics?
We're going to work at it. We're going to put a real hard effort. So there's been conversations about that for years, and the long and short of it is there's a lot of work that has to be done. So we need a ton more competitions. We need unified rules. We need a lot more competitors. We need everybody to share messages like this. Keep spreading the word. Say this is what we want to do. Then we have to take that movement and we have to have it across many nations in the world.
Because one of the rules for the Olympic is it has to be accessible to every country, right? You have to have the same type of training has to be available to everybody. Isn't that one of the rules?
Yeah, so here's, again, the fun part about it is we are directly connected through USA Wrestling and through UWW to the IOC. I don't try to make any misstatements about what we're doing. It says, but the goal is to continue growing our UWW Grappling World Championships, which is this year will be in Azerbaijan. We want to keep introducing the exciting part of sub-only and what this movement is. So we're going to grow this. We're going to have more people do it, get more wrestlers, more judoka, more of the sambo people to get on the mat, and let's start competing together, right? And just keep pushing this out there.
Yeah,
if we do that enough, with all the politics involved and all that kind of stuff, we'll get more of these tournaments into things like the World Combat Games, Sports Accord, and eventually that moves towards an Olympic push. So
That would be so awesome.
So, and what this means for all of you jiu-jitsu guys is this is your opportunity to get on a world stage. This is an opportunity for you to have a chance to compete for your country. So we're trying to provide that for you guys. We're your ticket in. So, that's a big advantage to competing with us.
If I can share what was super cool this past weekend was talking with the grappling people. So USA Wrestling had separated grappling from our national tournament.
And Blair, by grappling you mean submission grappling, submission wrestling?
Well, our UWW style, its official name is called Grappling, right?
Okay.
So it's the points-based system that we did. But that was separated out. It wasn't a part of our big show every year with the U.S. Open. So the U.S. Open has our Olympic athletes and all this kind of stuff. So we've been working. We got it back into that tournament. Doing post interviews with some of the athletes, it was really moving, saying, hey, what was the best part about this for you? And over I got being on this stage.
Yeah, I heard some people say that too.
Which is like, it's a big
It's an
deal.
amazing stage.
It's a big deal. And if you've never been on a national team or had a chance to really say, I'm a national champion, or, I'm on Team USA and I'm going to represent our country and everything, it's such a fucking amazing thing.
That would be so exciting.
It's with you for the rest of your life.
Get to compete. I was super bummed. As a competitor, like I'm injured right now, so I'm taking it easy. But those of you that follow me know that I was competing every weekend this year. You know what I mean? And to go to something like that, and then big up to everybody who competed on that stage. But like to see like white belts and blue belts like take things in my weight class was like it stung, dude. It stung. I was like, I could have probably done really well. I could have competed for my country. I could have been on this huge national stage. It's a big deal. When I got there and I looked around, I was like, holy shit, I've never, you know what I mean? I think the biggest thing I've done is fight to win, and I've been to tons of EBIs, and this was bigger than both of those.
Yeah.
It was huge.
It was so for anybody who
Yeah.
hadn't watched it, you can go see it on
huge.
Flow Grappling. It was in this huge arena. I think they hold rodeos there.
Yeah.
There are horses and stuff. It was a huge arena, and they had these big, huge stages. It was so cool looking.
Yeah.
And
So-
I could have competed on that.
Basically, like the
You
way
can too.
Yeah, if you miss Vegas, Fresno will be a similar venue.
Yeah.
the way I've explained it to people, which is Richard had explained it to me the other day, which is if this would have been if we would have gone to this event last year, the Greco-Roman winners would be going to the Olympics, right? So-
Not freestyle?
No, because they earn the spot for the world trials. They're right.
Yeah.
Am I saying this right? Am I doing it right?
So, world team trial, you have to be a U.S. passport holder
Okay.
and be the number one guy. And then once you're the number one guy, there is a mini tournament for other people. If it's the Olympic year, it's different than if it's the World Championship year. So, world team is the 3 years when there isn't the Olympics. And the Olympics, if you're the number one guy, you then go into a mini tournament with anybody who goes through the Olympic trial deal. So it's
a process.
a
Wow.
process. This is because, like I said, we're always trying to build the absolute best team to represent the United States.
Right.
This isn't like you just show up at Worlds and go for what you know.
Right.
You have to go through a qualifier. And that's what these international governing bodies are about. Saying, hey,
Correct.
we are unified and we all have the same deal.
Correct.
So that's what we're doing on the sub only. Saying, hey,
Yeah.
let's get these people out on the mat. And, our incentivizing is so great with make the money and, win a chance. So for wrestling people that don't know, the EBI would be like the Super Bowl
That's like
submission.
the pinnacle
Yeah.
of submission art.
Right? And, this finishers event is a big deal as well.
We're trying to provide the pathway to that.
Yeah.
So,
Dig it.
yeah.
Dig it.
That's
I
what's
like
up.
it.
Anybody else want to throw anything out there?
So I just want to touch on these absolute divisions because we've been in talks with some serious guys who want to do it. Chad George from CSW being one of them. I think Blair had a good conversation with him. I was talking with guys like Kevin Crane, who did amazing at the West Coast Trials ADCC this year. Alan Sanchez, who's one of the 10 planets. He's coming up, dude. He's a purple belt and he's smoking black belts. And I can't wait to see what he does in the future. Kevin Melendrez from Cabal Jiu Jitsu, a guy I competed against. He's always down to compete, doesn't matter. He's like, oh, Worlds is the next week, all good, tuning up. And then Josh Fiore from Dynamics has officially signed up for the Absolute Division as well. He's a black belt under Henry Jenkins. So we got some gamers in this thing, dude.
So also want to invite all of you, I'm sorry, Drew, but I want to invite all of you Gracie Baja guys and the Strictly Gi guys, step out of the box, try something. You know what I mean? It's a fun environment. There's nothing standing in your way. Sign up. Our prices are super reasonable. We're keeping it really affordable for you. Want everybody to get lots of matches, good competition.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is the invitation.
Yeah.
This is the invitation. We're saying right now, we'll have it tagged with here, but go check it out. Try something else on.
If you have any questions, we're super accessible.
Would you guys be willing to do this this competition in other locations?
Absolutely.
That's the goal.
If somebody in the middle of the country wants to bring you guys out?
So that's the goal for us when we talked about, okay, let's start this company. What's our mission? Where do we want to go? And our vision is to see this as a traveling tournament, something similar to a Naga-ish type of thing, except we're gonna run it on time always. It's gonna be great. And it's gonna be submission only, and we're gonna work really, really hard to bring you guys the best experience possible. We definitely want to travel, and there's been talks about Austin, Texas.
Stay tuned, Austin.
Oklahoma City, all around California, north and south. So
cool.
Yeah.
So again, share this stuff, guys. We want to bring it out to you.
People out, yeah.
And also, just so there's a lot of really good jiu-jitsu competitors out there that are winning these tournaments constantly for free. They're paying to get into these tournaments.
Right.
There's so many of you out there that can compete in this tournament and can win it. That have been winning tournaments that are just as tough, and we want to give you money. We want to make you professional grapplers.
Absolutely.
We want to put you on this big stage, right? Like our May event, which isn't a high school, but come Fresno, we are in a giant arena. We want to put you, because
I'm looking forward to that one.
What's that?
I said I'm looking forward to that one.
And that's what this sport deserves. Those of us who compete in it, we know that it's not at the level that it should be at yet. We see that,
we see its potential.
Poker's on ESPN.
That's right.
Yet we're sometimes our bigger events are in high schools. It's not there yet, but we know it's gonna get there.
Yeah.
That's what between all of us that are doing this event, we have so much experience doing events, other tournaments,
competing,
running Airbnb,
side of things, training, coaching.
This is not only
we live this shit, dude.
Yeah, not only is the tournament gonna be in an amazing venue, you're gonna get paid. It's gonna be run as it's going to be run like the best tournaments that you've been at because of we work those tournaments.
Our
We
heart and soul
we're
is
there.
in this, dude.
All right,
You know.
Joey.
Yes.
How do people find you if they want to follow you
On the
and the LA Jiu Jitsu Club and the U.S. Submission Grappling
League.
We'll
League?
let Drew take the U.S. Submission Grappling League one. He hit that one up perfectly. The LA Jiu Jitsu Club, we're on Instagram at the LA Jiu Jitsu Club, Facebook, the Los Angeles Jiu Jitsu Club. I'm just Joey Hauss, Hauss, like the German version, but just spelled wrong. On both Instagram and Facebook.
And wait. Just in case anybody's new, what is the LA Jiu Jitsu Club?
The LA Jiu Jitsu Club, we started off as it was basically an Airbnb for Jiu Jitsu practitioners. We've had people come from all over the country, all over the world. Like I always joke that we're world
Name
travelers.
drop, yeah,
and we never had to leave our house.
Never left.
I'm afraid about the people I'm going to leave out, but like Gary Tonin, Richie Boogeyman Martinez, Gio Martinez, Samir Chantry, Oswaldo Cushenio, Christina Barlon. Everyone there's people off camera just shoot them out at me if Pete the Greek, my wrist still hurt.
Brandon McCaffrey
was just here. Travis Dewaza,
Alicia
Ruben Rivera,
Felicia O.
Felicia O.
Oh yeah, I forget the pictures on the wall.
Eric Medina. It's like the list goes on and on. Like I know there's like phenomenal grapplers when the camera goes off. I'm like, shit, I forgot that person. But they've all stayed with us. They all trained with us.
It's a bed and breakfast for jiu-jitsu people.
Exactly. But now it's growing to be so much more.
And you guys will, if
event.
somebody wants to come here and do a traincation in Los Angeles, you guys will even drive them to go train?
We bring our people to train at Jean Jacques. We bring our people to train at 10th Planet HQ. We had one of our first groups that stayed here on Friday. They came with us to Jean Jacques. I think on Monday they were at 10th Planet HQ, and like Wednesday they went to Hickson. They went and did a Hickson Gracie class.
Wow,
damn.
And I'm like, you just hit.
Oh, that was in
jiu-jitsu.
Highland Park.
What's that?
That was the villains, right?
No, it was at Chrome Gracie's Academy back when Hickson was doing
Hickson
the
just did
Wednesday
a couple
class.
of them then.
He did there was
Yeah.
a Wednesday class that he did there.
Oh, that's badass.
And so you hit Jiu-Jitsu Mount Rushmore
Right.
within
Right.
staying with us. Yeah.
That's
So
a good
LA
way to put
Jiu-Jitsu
it.
Club has also become more than just an Airbnb. That is still open to everybody, all you Jiu-Jitsu travelers. But we also host open mats Monday through Sunday now. We're opening the schedule up, so Monday through Friday you can come train with me, Eric, and Joey in the morning, 7 a.m. Or we host open mats at 6 p.m. Friday, Saturday, and now we're opening it up on Sunday as well.
For us then, don't get up at Saturday.
Yeah, for
Wait, do
those
things
of you
happen
that-
at 6 a.m.? I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
it
LA
it's 7
Jiu-Jitsu
a.m.
Club
I didn't know
train.
that
I
a
didn't know
6
there
a.m.
was a 6
existed.
a.m.
I know there's a 6 p.m. I wasn't aware that there was
Yeah,
6 a.m.
7 a.m. Jiu-Jitsu, and then 6 p.m. on the weekends for those of you that, don't want to wake up.
One more time, the USSGL. The information.
So yeah, all the information about the tournament, guys, please follow and share. Our Facebook is US Submission Grappling League. Our Instagram is at USSGL, and our Twitter is at _USSGL_.
And you can register at USSGL.com under register. It's that easy.
Did somebody already have at USSGL on
I think
Twitter?
somebody did.
Who
Right?
Who is it?
We're coming for you.
What
We
kind
want
of-
that handle.
It was either that or I didn't have enough characters or something, but it wasn't. It wanted me to put a one after it or something.
Love it.
Oh.
Shrinking
okay.
group. Love
I don't know if people still use Twitter, so.
I think it's pretty big. I think
It
think
is
cool.
quite
Yeah.
popular.
We're coming
All
for
right,
you.
so
Thank you.
what's your
We just suck at it.
what's your personal
My personal
handle?
Andrew Ryan Murrillo is my personal Facebook page. I also have an athletes page, Andrew El Armadillo Murillo. Again,
I like how
I'm
when he
also,
said that one is
With
when he
the one
says
accent, with the
yeah, that
accent.
one he says it in Spanish.
Murillo.
The other
Spanish
one
accent,
with the
right?
accent.
Say I'll blast.
Again, all of us are curating the USSGL pages and the LA Jiu-Jitsu Club pages. Follow all of our stuff there. In USSGL.com. Check it out. We've got our bios up there, our whole mission, all of our information, the tournaments. We also have a calendar section, and we're going to start filling that in with not only our tournaments and events, but all of the tournaments and events in Southern California to start. And then as we branch out, we'll go ahead and start adding other people's events. If you throw a tournament or a jiu-jitsu lifestyle event or anything like that, go ahead and shoot us an email or any kind of message letting us know the information. We'll be glad to put that up on there as well.
Cool.
Very nice.
Joey.
Joey Hauss.
But
did
yeah,
it.
I'll do it again. I'll promote myself
sorry,
as much as I need to.
I I just want
Blair,
to make sure
what
that
about-
people know.
Blair Green.
Blair.
Blair
Green.
Studmuffin.com.
Obviously.
Don't go there.
Yeah. Please, viewers of America, do not go there.
Or do. Hey, man.
Whatever you,
Maybe someone
whatever's
will,
your
you
thing.
never know.
Do you want
We
people to
didn't
follow
send you
you, or are
there.
you not
Do
interested
you want
in
them to
social
find you, or
media?
you're just like,
No, if you have questions about what we're doing in submission grappling, you can hit me up at Blair at USSGL.com. If you want some information about USA Wrestling or any of the great wrestling opportunities here, we've got Beat the Streets going across the country, which is a lot of great programs. So again, if we want you on the mat, if you want some information, reach out. I'm more than happy to talk to you.
Awesome sauce.
fantastic.
Bexa sandwich.
I have a new name every week. At Bex and Violence on anywhere that I'm on.
All the things.
Facebook,
All
Twitter,
the things.
Instagram,
Yep.
On Facebook.
Snapchat.
Yeah. I'm Donna Gonzalez, and on Instagram I'm Donna GG, and then you can always find all of us at Mat Therapy Life on everything, including
That is
.com. All right, we'll see you next week. Peace out, bitches.
Oh.